Steve Curley couldn't make it today for a family emergency, so fellow Beaver Mike is going to give us a presentation on the foundation, Kiwanis Foundation. So thank you so much.
Okay. Well, bear with me because I kind of just threw it together this morning after finding out. Anyway, I'd like to start out and maybe just give you a little bit of history of the Kiwanis Foundation and how it was formed and some things like that. If I'm getting bored, wave your hands and we can move on. But anyway, the Kiwanis Redmond Foundation was established in 1966. We had a member, Joe Botero, that had some land in Crook County that he donated to the club. And it was a value of $12,000 at that time. And the intent was to build a children's camp at this site. It was out, I think, close to the dam out there at the reservoir. Anyway, in 1971, we sold it for $17,250, and that started the foundation. Over the years, the foundation has worked in concert with the club. The club does mostly projects that are small contributions and fund operations and things like that, while the foundation does more bricks and mortar and finances construction projects and stuff like that. The goal of the foundation is to have something permanent left over when it's done, so that people can see. So part of the things over the years, in 1972, we took on the task of spearheading the new indoor swimming pool. At the time, Redmond had a old outdoor antiquated pool. It's kind of, we're going through the whole system now because now the pool that we helped fund and build is being replaced this next year, hopefully, if all goes, or this year, as all goes well. Anyway, in 72, the old outdoor pool used to be in Ray Johnson Park, which is where the bypass is right now. And so between 72 and 78, the members made countless trips to the valley and other places to actually check out pools and help design and do the construction. At the time, the cost estimates were like $250,000, and it seemed like every time we tried to raise money, they raised money by doing barbecues, chicken barbecues, salmon barbecues, and all kinds of raffles, and then we used to have a TV radio auction where we'd actually go to the high school and all the people from town would donate items and we'd auction them off. Anyway, it got to where we could never quite get enough money to build it without passing a bond. So they went to the people and passed a bond to build the fund. And so at the time, what we had to do was establish the Park and Rec District in order to help fund it and help to get it started. And the original Park and Rec members were all Kiwanians. So that's how we got the pool.
I'd like to have you add there that Bob McWilliams was the city manager.
City manager?
And didn't he spearhead that committee that built that pool?
Yeah.
Okay.
The foundation actually raised over $333,000 for the pool and spent it. And since that time, the foundation is primarily interested, primarily is funded by getting $5,000 from the club each year. The foundation itself does not do fundraisers. We're dependent on the club to help feed it. And then also from what we can get from our investments. The next major project was the construction of a football stadium at Redmond High School. Don Rich was the athletic director at Redmond High and a longtime member of the club. And when he passed away, the foundation spearheaded a drive to construct the stadium. The foundation initially pledged $25,000 to it, and then there were memorial contributions to it as well. And then my father sold seats for $250 each, and then he did the engraving on the backs of the seats. So if you go to Don Rear Stadium, that's how it all happened. And actually my kids helped put the bolts together because their fingers were small enough that they could get underneath and help put them together. Anyway, um, also in 1987, the club adopted Sam Johnson Park as a project in memory of a longtime legislator and one-term mayor and a charter member of the Kiwanis Club, Sam Johnson. First, we cleared the park area on land donated by his widow Becky. They lived just up above the canyon, and we actually installed the irrigation equipment, built and installed some playground equipment, and then a few years later, we built that picnic pavilion down there. And we spent $54,000 for that over some years, and then Becky helped as well with funding for that. Broadening our focus, the foundation has helped expand the amphitheater seating at the new Legion Park. We spent $35,000 there, where the Redmond Rotary actually built the stage, but we did all the seating. And the Kiwanis members put in hundreds of hours helping to build that. It seemed like a lot of our projects earlier on were a lot more hands-on type projects. And then the foundation in 2010 pledged $25,000 to renovate Sam Johnson Park in partnership with the city of Redmond. The foundation raised that to $50,000, securing a like amount from the Kiwanis International Foundation and $250,000 from the Pacific North Kiwanis Foundation. And the club and the foundation raised nearly $400,000 of the $1.2 million expanded playground facility that's down there now. And then we all got to go down there and help put it together too, which was fun. Since the mid-1980s, Kiwanis Club of Redmond has been awarding scholarships to college-bound students of Redmond high schools. And it started out with the club giving just a $2,000 annual scholarship from the club. And then my mom and dad were to Madeline Patrick started a renewable scholarship and established a fund. And from that, the foundation now manages, I think we've got like 4 or 5, we managed their scholarship fund, we managed the Bob Gill Scholarship Fund. Bob was a member of the club, passed away, donated his house to us, and when it sold, we've invested money there. He primarily wanted to invest in business type scholarships. And then Don and Nancy Leaf Don had started a music scholarship previously, but anyway, they're going to continue to do that scholarship. We monitor some of those funds. Catherine and Richard Keene set up a legacy fund, which we manage, and it'll be used for scholarships. And they've got a statement of how they want those funds sold or given away, and so we're working on donating those funds to meet those needs as well. The foundation is governed by a board of directors of 5 members, with 1 being elected each year. So it's the current members. I'm the president. Gary Oldenshire is the treasurer. Dan Tippy is the secretary, and Noah Von Borstel and Katie Mercer are our other 2 members. Katie just got elected to take Don's place. All of the members are past presidents of the club. It's not in the bylaws that they have to be, but we've found it to be very useful to have people that have had longevity in the club and kind of understand the club functionings to move on to that position. Our current focus is helping the new playground fund. We've so far have invested $17,900 into it. We're meeting next week. We'll have our annual meeting with our investment advisor, and we'll probably scout out what we're going to do next year and see where that fund is headed and how much more help it's going to need. We've funded like Rimrock. We helped fund the mat for the Redmond High wrestling team. We've done helped out with the Heavenly Peace beds. We've helped Rimrock Trails with their healing garden and a lot of other things. Currently, our fund the total thing is worth over $900,000. Probably 2/3 of that is scholarship funds that are already specified for specific uses. And then probably at 1/3 of that is club funds that we can use for club functions and needs as we go. And we're currently looking at probably trying to fund projects out of the money that the interest and stuff that we're gaining rather than taking out our principal, so we can continue to have a fair amount of money available to fund projects as they become presented to us and meet the needs. And I'd love to open it up to questions. I whipped right through that, didn't I?
So do we, as a club, do any of the funds we raise from Vintner's Dinner, whatever, does any of that go to the foundation?
Not for Vintner's Dinner.
What's that?
Well, the paddle race goes to Vintner's Dinner, but
The paddle raise funds, yeah, we've got a separate fund. What we've done is set up all of our funds in different accounts so that we can keep everything, we don't have it all in one big master fund where it's all, the treasurer has to figure out where everything is. We've set them all into different funds, so they're all broken out. We've got a separate fund for the park fund. I would say, you're sending out these letters and stuff for people that have got RMDs that have got to give away money or get rid of money if they don't need the income. That would be an excellent way to just transfer it right to our account and put it right in that park fund. If people wanted to do things like that, I mean, it would be a good way to invest it and save taxes.
But I think in answer to your question, annually the club tries out of their budget from money they raise from Vintner's Dinner or from Oktoberfest or any other fundraising we do, from our Happy Dollar contributions, maybe, I don't know, to give $5,000 to the foundation. I've seen that in writing in the foundation notes.
Yeah.
That's what the foundation's expectation is.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't always happen because the club doesn't always have that available. But that's.
I read about it online and talked with you guys because not really understanding completely how, I mean, we're both Kiwanis, but it's really a separate organization in a way.
Yes and no.
I love those answers.
I mean, really.
Which it is like.
It really is. I mean, we're here, if you need the contribution, the benefit of the contribution, the foundation's there to help fund that or to allow that process to happen. We're probably not going to take out a project unless the club is behind it. I mean, so I think we work in concert. We have the ability to do more because we've got more funds available, but we do have stipulations that we want something to last. I mean, it's kind of like if you go down to the Sam Johnson Park or these other places and see the Kiwanis symbol, that's kind of what we're after is leaving. But we did a lot of stuff at Redmond High. We rebuilt their track and a lot of things before Ridgeview even existed. And yeah, so I mean, the pole vault pit. I mean, we did all kinds of things when it was the only school, but it seemed like they got enough funds when Ridgeview was built to do the facilities. And so, as the needs are met. And as I say, for the park, or for the playground fund, I can see us giving as much as we need to help seed it to where we don't go below the dollar amount that we want to keep in there in order to be able to fund things. We're probably funding, I would say, $10,000 to $20,000 of things a year. We don't say like every year we're going to give away X number of dollars because we're trying to be able to put it where we see the need and where the club sees the need. I mean, it's just like helping out with the beds, making the beds to that group. I mean, that was a perfect marriage because to us it's something solid and it's something that we can help out.
Like one question from an estate planning perspective, you mentioned a couple of folks have left the foundation as a benefactor in their estate plan. If people wanted to do that today, how do they do that? Do they contact you?
Contact us.
Okay.
We're happy to do it. I actually talked to like the Lee family a little bit to see what they wanted to do. I think they've decided to do their own thing kind of through us. But you know, if somebody wanted to start a scholarship fund, some of these funds we've started, I think, well, a prime example of my parents' fund, I think, started with about $70,000. And right now it's worth about $300,000. But his whole goal was to buy certain stocks and then fund the scholarships off of the contributions that came out each year, the dividends. And so with it, we've been able to grow it. And this year we've been giving two essential $10,000 or $5,000 scholarships, $2,000 the first year and then $1,000 a year for the next 3 years. And this year we probably will be giving away 3 of them. The Bob Gill Fund probably gives out at least $2,000 a year. And you know, hopefully we're getting these things to where we can perpetuate them forever and increase the amount each year to make it worthwhile for the kids too.
So, so where does this impact the community? So 2 years ago, we recognized that nonprofits and other community members were getting the foundation and the club confused. And so when they were putting in money, they didn't know who to put into. So Barb and John did a great job and worked really hard to try to clarify that on the website. So when nonprofits come to Kiwanis looking for donation, if it's kind of if it's $5,000 and below and not a capital project, then often Kiwanis Club will support those programs. But if it's $5,000 and above, like Mike said, if a capital project or a bricks and mortar type project, that's where the foundation really steps in to give. And so that was confusing to the community at large, but I think we recognized that 2 years ago. We really tried to clarify that. And then when nonprofits come, we help explain that better. And so I think that that's made a big difference in the last couple of years of when donation requests come in.
I think for a while people thought we were a secret society, but we're really not. We're wide open. We're part of the club. I think it's given us an option to be able to fund and do bigger things and leave a lasting mark on Redmond.
2 questions. One, back to Raise the Paddle. So at Vintner's Dinner, when we do the Raise the Paddle and people are contributing, that goes to the foundation?
That goes to the President's Project.
Oh, okay.
And in the last 3 years, it's been the same project.
Yeah, okay. And so then my next question is, how many total dollars go out each year total through scholarships about? I mean, I know it varies,
I think
but
the scholarships are probably $16,000 to $20,000 with everything. It's like Noah Van Borstel has been giving $1,000 every year. There's other people that have contributed annually but don't have funds that we're managing. So it's and like Hodackers give usually $2,000 a year too. They don't have their fund is, I think, with the state charitable funding, and then anyway, yeah, and so they give us money from it too. So some of the scholarship money comes from different places. These are ones that people have set up with us to manage for them. And as I say, we'd be happy to do it with anybody else that wants to do it. And it's like the Keene Legacy Foundation Fund. They've specified, you know, if a person needed a musical instrument, or some kid needed something to go, if they apply to us and meet the criteria, then we would be able to fund those things too. So you can pretty much write what you want your fund to do, and we will do our best to honor those wishes. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that the foundation is for the club, technically the foundation name is the nonprofit for our club. foundation has the 501c3 designation. So if people are wanting to make contributions, the nonprofit number that we can provide them is the one that the foundation has. Little technicality in there, but really, we're all in this together.
We're all together, yeah.
Mike, I got a couple of questions about the playground. First of all, will it be an all hands-on build?
No,
You're walking out the door.
Sorry, I'll jump in there. No, I was like, I don't want to say for the, no, due to the regulations the park district has, we can't go and do anything hands-on at this point. That may transition to where we can be more hands-on, but at this point, they just need money. We've talked about, you know, I've got some folks out and move dirt and do some of those more heavy equipment things, but they've yet to take us up on that just yet.
Okay. And secondly, what's the project after the playground? Have you talked about that?
Oh. So for the president, are you leaving?
No.
Oh, okay. For the President's Project this year, to raise the paddle, I chose the Jericho Road weekend food program for students. Do you remember we donated to that program a month or two ago, and Eleanor was here and talked about it, and they get, through the school district, through FAN, they identify the kids with needs to have, because some of them will not have food at home for the weekend. So on Wednesdays, there's a group of women, Molly participates, Roland's wife Gail participates, and they fill bags for those kids to take home Friday. And so that, and it's, like I said, if you heard Eleanor speak, she explained it, but yeah, we have sadly, a lot of children that without that would not eat on the weekends. So that was, it was Roland actually had that for his project in 2018.
I'm done, unless people have more questions.
Any more questions for Mike? Thank you, Mike. We got to get a picture and you get a prize.
Oh, man.
Picture with the president.
A
Yeah.
prize?
All right.
Thank you very much.
Oh,